Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm here making a video for lab 3.2 of Cybersecurity 511. In this lab, we were asked to do some tasks within our Kali Linux box, specifically using Metasploit and Armitage. So the first thing that it asked us to do was start up Metasploit and MSF console, and I have that done right here. I just do this. There here. All right, so first thing I did was type in sudo sutelb to root in my Kali box, and then this next command msfdb init. That's just initializing the MSF database. After that's done, you can see here that was already started from when I previously did this lab. Next, I just started at the MSF console. Part 2 of the lab asks us to run a network scan on our lab network. So you can see that in the command prompt on the right here, I ran an nmap -o-sv, and I saved the output to a file called nmap_output.txt. These are the results, and you can see that it only really found open ports and services on our Metasploitable 2 box here. So that's going to be 192.168.100.10. You can see for our Ubuntu box, it didn't find any open ports that were packaged up. And then same for our Kali box, which we're working on right now. Next, it asks us to do the same scanning with the DB nmap, and for that, I still have the output saved, so I'll just scroll to the top. You can see here I ran DB nmap, basically the same commands that I ran in our normal nmap scan here, and it basically gave us the same exact output. One thing that I did additionally after I ran it in our MSF console, I just typed in the command hosts, and it outputs a nice little numbered list. Outputs a nice little, not numbered list, but just a nice little list displaying all of the hosts that it found on our lab network. And then again, if you type in services, it'll output a list of each host along with the port that it found open, what protocol it's using, the name of the protocol it's open, and what version of the protocol it's using. So using Metasploit, you could also do something called, you could use a feature called search. And what search basically does is after you search for a specific open port or open service, it outputs the different exports that are available for that service. So I chose to look into BSFTPD. You can see that's running version 2.3.4. So if we type just search BSFTPD, we get one export available. Next, it asks us to do the same thing in Armitage. So if we go up, originally, guys, I didn't have Armitage installed on my Kali box, so I fixed that pretty easily by just running the following command, which is, we just go here, sudo apt install Armitage, and then we got Armitage installed for me. And then once you open it, the first thing that I did was I went to host, I clicked on nmap scan, and I just did a quick scan and changed this to the target lab network. And while this is running, I'll just show you the previous output that it ran. You see here that it ran the nmap scan, found the different hosts that even our normal nmap and DB nmap scan found, and basically gave us all the same information. Once you see this information, what you could do is again pick a service. So again, if we just look at FTP, what we would do is So let's just close all these out. We go into export. Next, we click into Unix since it is an FTP service. We click into Unix, find FTP, and then again here we see BSF TPD underscore 234 underscore backdoor. And you would double click it, and basically would run it the exact same way as if you were doing it on the normal command prompt. So you would have to set a remote host. The local host doesn't need to be set in most cases, as I'll show you guys, because I actually did end up exploiting this vulnerability. So you don't really need to set local host or local port, but our host and our port, so remote host, remote port, you need to specify, and then you just click launch, and you have access to our box right here. You have exploitable box right here. And yeah, that's basically it on the page. So just a graphical user interface for Metasploit console. So what I'm gonna do now is show you guys how I exploited it. So once I found what the exploit available was, what I did was type in the following command, use exploit, and just copy the exact exploit that you see up here. So use exploit, and then you see here how it says no payload configured because we hadn't specified a payload just yet. So it's just going to default to CMD Unix / interact. Next thing I did was use show options, and it specifies all the things that you need to basically fill in order for this export to work. So you see here, C host, C port, local host, local client address, local client port. You see that you don't need to fill any of that out. It's not required, but once you move into our host, our port, it is required. So our port was already set for us because we're going to be exploiting the FTP service, which runs on port 71. Our host is something that we did need to specify. So what I did was type in the following command, set auto host, and then set payload. I just use the default one right here, and then hit exploit. So once you hit exploit, it's gonna come out and produce this text here. So once you see found shell, that basically means you're into the box. So if we just type in a who am I, we see root, and then if we type in ifconfig, it actually shows us that we are in the metasploitable box because it has IP 192.168.100.10. And just to show you guys, pull up the metasploitable box too. And let's just check it out real quick. So let me go to 100. And you see here that it is indeed 192.168.100.10. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for Lab 3.2. Thanks, and see you guys later.